began to shift for me when I moved from optional to non-negotiable. When I moved from I really, really want this to hold on. This is non-negotiable. It's time for me to move from I'd like it to happen to no matter what. It has to happen. No matter what, Jelani has to have the type of opportunities that normally an African-American male child from South Central LA whose father went to prison when he was 8 months old wouldn't have. See, I had to become non-negotiable that Jelani has a breathtaking future. I had to become non-negotiable and say no matter what, that I was gonna get off government's assistance. And not only was I gonna get off government's assistance, that I was gonna create a healthy lifestyle around money, finances, and fiscal success and responsibility. I had to say no matter what around creating the life that I love, where I can travel the world and inspire people. I had to say no matter what around keeping my family intact and keeping my relationships intact while I did that. I had to say no matter what around my health and my wellness and bringing back physical prosperity to my life and to my body. Nothing happened until I went from optional to non-negotiable to no matter what. When I came to no matter what, that's when the mountain, if it was in front of me, it had to bow down, it had to move. And so I believe that you're in the exact same place, that as you move into next year, you're at a no matter what time. You're at a non-negotiable time. You're at a move every other option off the table.
One of the things that's really interesting about the Old Testament is that, and the Jews in the Old Testament, is that they don't take the path of Cain. Every time they're walloped by God, which is like fairly frequently, they say, we must have done something wrong and we have to set ourselves right. And that's an unbelievably heroic attitude, because that's the alternative to cursing fate. It's like you take the responsibility for failure onto yourself and you think, well, if I just had my act together a little bit more, if I took advantage of every opportunity that was put in front of me, if I wasn't resentful and bitter, then I could have done something that would have tilted the situation in a different direction. And like, that's almost inevitably true. Dostoevsky, I think, said something like, every man is responsible for everything that happens to him and everything that happens to everyone else. And that's, you know, it's a crazy statement, right? It's a crazy statement. And he was a pretty extreme person in many, many ways. But there's a level at which that's metaphysically true, you know, because what happens is that it's failure to act often that's the most catastrophic. You know, I mean, it's to not do the right thing when the situation presents itself, and it's very specific. You know, you're constantly in situations where you could do the right thing if you were willing to take a risk that's actually of relatively moderate size, and you know that you could take the risk and you know that you should take the risk, and you don't. And that happens to people all the time. And then what happens is the thing that they didn't oppose grows a little bit and they shrink a little bit, and that starts a loop. Hey,
I realized, I'd say 2 years ago, but especially in the last 6 months, very recent, that and this is the part that would make my Tim of 5 years ago just
cringe,
like vomit a little in his own mouth, which is, I'm not going to mince words. I still have trouble saying this, but like, self-love is not an indulgence. It's not a nice to have. It is a prerequisite. Even if all you want to do is feel successful and take care of the people you love the most, to really take care of them, you have to, as I've heard said, put on your oxygen mask first. Mm-hmm. And if you don't do that, like, you are also shortchanging your ability to care for other people completely. And that's been a very, very much a 180 degree about face for me. Right? Because for a long time I was like, I don't need to care for myself. Mm-hmm. Like, that's the word keeps coming back to me, which is self-indulgent. Like, is this self-indulgent? Mm-hmm. Like, who cares?
I haven't had any regrets, you know, and it's sometimes really hard. I'll tell you a funny story. I remember right before I got A Different World, I auditioned for Blossom. Do you remember the TV show
Absolutely,
Blossom?
yes.
Do you remember her friend, the young girl, her Six? I auditioned for Six, okay? And I had my hair up in a little ponytail with this little jumpsuit. I looked like I was about 12. Got the role, okay? Got the role to play Six. And I was like, I was 18, 19 years old then. I looked at my agent, Nancy Rainford. I said, Nancy, I can't do this. I just can't do it. I'm gonna be miserable playing a 12-year-old on this show. I can't do this. And we had to turn it down. And let me tell you, them folks were not happy. It's like, who does this girl think she is? You know, that whole thing. But within 2 weeks, I got A Different World. And that really taught me a lesson, which was, you know, to really listen to and follow my gut, because everything that shines isn't gold, you know what I mean? And so it really taught me a very valuable lesson to just stay true to myself. If there's nothing that I haven't learned about this business, it's really about staying true to why I'm here, why, you know, I started acting in the first place, and what's important to me, and keeping my artistic integrity as well as my creative, like my personal integrity. And that was a big lesson for me. And let me tell you, that was not an easy thing to turn down. You know, being a young actress, you got this opportunity for, you know, this series regular, it's money, you know. But I just felt deeper down inside, I was like, something's coming your way, just fall back. And then I got to meet, you know, Debbie Allen.
Makes a great company is less about your good opportunities and a lot more about you having the bravery and discipline to say no to your many good opportunities. What destroys a great company is actually opportunity bloating, too many good opportunities. So literally, you diffuse your team's bandwidth and you get distracted. And you see with so many companies right now, they sort of found their sweet pocket and they were absolutely winning in their marketplace, and they decided to go, we've got this app that is really changing the game and owning the marketplace. Let's get into food delivery. Let's get into this. Let's get into that. It happened to General Electric as well, and you probably know they decided at one point, if we can't be one or two in any market, we're gonna get out of that market. That's the key point I'm trying to make. Know your mighty mission, know your monomaniacal focus, and then have the discipline to say no to everything else so you can lock and load on your finest opportunity to completely change the game.
Everyone has what's inside them called a confidence account. And here's the scary thing. At every moment, you're either helping or you're hurting your confidence. There's no in between. Every decision you make is either helping the account or hurting it. And every accomplishment and everything you've done up to this point is because of that account. So I didn't realize that a lot of things I was doing, whether it was sleeping in or validating or making excuses, they were hurting my confidence. And if you don't have confidence, you're always going to find a way to lose in entrepreneurship. So you always got to understand how important confidence is and protect it at the highest level. And how do you build confidence? Well, confidence is just certainty, right? What's the number one reason people won't leave corporate to go to entrepreneurship? They're scared because they have what at their other job? They have certainty. It's like, well, the paycheck's coming. In this new economy, the only certainty you have is the confidence in yourself and your ability to make it happen. So you have to create certainty for your life and business by doing your due diligence, by studying, by reaching out to high-level people, and by making sure that you have an identity that whatever you say, your actions follow, because when you get results, that's the ultimate confidence booster, you know what I mean?
So both your kids are in showbiz too. Is that worrying for you? Or
No, it's, to me, showbiz is not separated from the rules of the universe, right? So whether you're in show business or you're selling cars or you're farming, you're not separate from the laws of the universe. And all of the rules are the same everywhere. So for my children, the most important thing is that they be encouraged to fully and thoroughly be themselves, no matter what. And when you have yourself and you're thorough and confident in who you are, you can survive anywhere.